We are Beer and Chill Podcast.
Podcast where we review TV shows, games, movies, and whatever else takes our fancy.
So what are you waiting for? If you're a cool kid like us, you're gonna listen to the Beer and Chill Podcast. You can get it anywhere from Spotify all the way to your grandmother's radio. My name is Jan.
And I'm Craigie C.
And we are
Beer and Chill.
What's your favorite scary movie?
They mostly come at night. Mostly.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Your suffering will be legendary even in hell.
They're here.
You
Nick,
can keep this in.
Nick, cut this out. Cut this out.
Nick, keep it in. Keep it in.
Future Nick, cut this out. Welcome, victims, to the Horr-Gasm podcast. I'm Nick, and with me is our co-host, Ali.
Hi.
Yeah.
I think you should just fade that in the beginning. Like our beginning's still going.
I might. You know what? I just might.
Yeah. Just you
for
not
the
being
lulz.
ready. Hey, Nick, are you ready? Yeah, absolutely. Not ready.
I was
at all.
not ready at all.
And then I proceed to choke on my wine that I'm drinking right out of the bottle
Oh,
because
That's how
it's
we
a
do it.
Monday. It's a Monday.
It's a Monday.
You know?
Ugh.
And, like, I know that everybody makes fun of memes and, like, and all that stuff, but, like, Garfield had it right.
I was going to say that. Garfield made a living off of It's a Monday. And he's right.
Exactly. It's
totally
just
a Monday.
like, I was talking to the girls at work today, and I was like, you know how women can sync their cycles?
I've heard.
I think that we in the office sync our bad days.
Oh,
I know.
that's a bad
Because
day,
I
though.
walked in and I looked at my coworker and she looked at me and our eyes both started watering and I'm like,
Oh, no.
yep.
Oh, fuck.
It's just one of those days, you know?
It's just one of those.
And now it's 4 p.m. and I'm drinking wine from a bottle and it's just, we ordered sushi and it's just...
It's gonna be a good afternoon. And then we have this. We gotta
Right.
watch a movie, record one more for Halloween.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Fucking October, hey?
October.
I'm ready.
Yeah, but it's Halloween season, which is also all year. But this is like the lead up. This is the go-to.
Spooky, scary skeleton. Shivers down my spine.
So since we're in season 2,
Yep.
and Jan and Craig, we got a new commercial for them. So we
Love
played
some
that
Beer and Chill.
at the opening. Yep, they started out the lovely podcast. We might have some. We need to get our old viewers back, get some new viewers. So
Hell yeah.
for those who are just coming back into the show or they're new to it,
Yep.
we start off with just BS, which we also call talking chop.
Chop, chop.
Yes.
Swing, swing, chop.
Where we just talk about the trailers, what's going on with our lives. Not so much that, but just what's going on.
Yeah.
Horror movie wise. See anything good? I have.
Yes.
But I'll talk about that in the Halloween recording.
We literally watch an obscene amount of horror movies. Like, probably
yes.
since the last time we recorded a couple weeks ago, I've probably watched about 20.
Yeah.
Like, we watch an obscene amount.
Love them.
So we're always ready to chat about it. We always have ammunition. If anybody wants to interact on social media, we are, like, ready.
I got one thing brought up here soon.
Yep.
Two things.
Ooh.
First is Cinemasker, you know, the angry video game nerd.
Yep.
He's back doing the Halloween Monster Madness. He's doing it around the world, so he's doing different horror movies around the world. Some are good, some are bad.
Ain't that the truth, though?
Yeah, this is a free advertising for him.
Yep.
You can find them on cinemasker.com, and he's got great horror sense, almost as much as us.
Oh.
Almost. I think we got him beat. Suck it, James. Although he's got a better collection than me, which I don't appreciate.
Fair.
The second thing is they cast, I don't know if I told this last episode, but they cast Pinhead for the new Hellraiser movie.
Interesting.
It is a woman.
Okay.
It is a transgender woman.
Okay.
Yes. She's, let me screw this up. She is a she,
Yep.
but she was a he.
Okay.
And there's a lot. Well, no, there's a lot. There's people who are like, "Oh, we don't need a female Cenobite." Just so people
But
know.
how can you tell under all the makeup? Who
But the
cares?
original pinhead, I use pinhead. I use quotation because you have a name.
Yep.
Use Cenobite.
Yep.
Was a female.
Yep.
The original one from the book was a female. Cool. I have no problem with that. This is cool casting.
Right.
They're going back to original material. Great.
But people just want to be upset over anything. Like, who cares?
And that's why I hate
But like
social media.
that's the thing is that like my sister's best friend, who was a woman, dressed up as Pinhead for Halloween,
Nice.
and it looked more like Pinhead than Pinhead. Like, I have never seen makeup like that in my life. And Megan Thee Stallion just dressed up as Pinhead for Halloween too.
Yeah.
And she's like obviously it was supposed to be more sexy. But it was huge, and everybody's like, it gets new people into horror too.
Yes.
Because it's like, who would listen, black hardcore female rap and horror movies don't always mesh. So it's nice to like have that crossover, and like hardcore female rap is my favorite type of music. So to have the two crossover, as soon as I saw it and she had a video, I was like, yeah.
Well, it's funny because way back when,
Yep.
I forget which Freddy it was, but there was I forget the band name, but there was a rap about Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they had him in the music video back when there were
Yes.
music videos on MTV.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I remember seeing that. I'm like, this is before I was all into the horror. I was still a little bit so scaredy cat. I'm like, is this gonna be scary? What's gonna happen? And yeah. So there is there's a total connection.
Yeah.
Like even Thriller with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Not so much rap, but still, he took one of the most well-known makeup artists.
Yes.
And hey, do you want to do this for my music video? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's huge.
Oh, it's so cool. I just love it. I love crossover because it brings new fans into the genre, and you get different like points of view, different ideas, all that kind of stuff. And I think that that's so important, that like multiculturalism, like different races, different religions, all of that, watching horror. And then, you get, little kids who wouldn't have otherwise liked it, enjoying it growing up, getting into the industry, and you get so many better ideas.
One thing I love to see on Facebook, and there's not much, is people asking, parents, hey, my 10-year-old, my 6-year-old, my 13-year-old is starting to get into horror.
Yeah.
What are some good suggestions? And it's always minus the sex.
Yes, of
I
course.
get that. There's the tried and true Tremors,
Oh, for sure.
Gremlins.
Yeah. Even like
else
Night of the
there.
Living Dead, like you could throw it back, because like this,
Yes.
not even the 70s, but like the 60s, like Psycho, you could watch all of those. They're pretty tame, especially like obviously the original Psycho,
Yeah.
but like they're scary.
Yes. Like even the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
There's not, I don't think there's hardly any sex. It's very
I
tasteful.
guarantee you could look up, where's the nakedness? Like you could
Yes.
Google it, and just skip it or whatever, clip it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to start. It really is. Like, especially
Exactly.
with Tremors. It was on TV when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't think it scared me, but it got my attention.
Yes.
It sucked me in.
I
Alien.
love Tremors.
Alien be also, I love Tremors. Tremors. Have we done Tremors yet?
Have we done? No,
Yeah.
we haven't. It's on our list.
Better be.
It is. It is. I think it's next February or March. Like, it's a while, but we could move it up.
And maybe too far away.
You know
although I think I had that for once a month, Monster Month. So
Yes.
maybe we'll save it for then.
Yeah, I think it's in a Monster Month. They were playing Shaun of the Dead at 13 Pies when we were there on Saturday. So good.
Nice.
So good. It's just such a good movie. I love that, so here in Saskatoon, we have I know we've posted pictures of it before, but we have this restaurant called 13 Pies.
We need to go there again, have a
I'm there once a
meeting.
week.
Well,
The girl's like, oh, you're here again. Do you want the usual? And I'm like, oh, God, I'm not person.
invite me, damn it.
I will.
Hurry up.
And so all of their pies, like their pizzas and their drinks are all named after horror movies. So we always get the Pies Have Eyes, which is the pepperoni. And then I got a new drink called the Soul Train.
Oh.
And it's supposed to be like Soul Station.
Oh.
Yeah, like Train to Busan.
Or
it was
like
amazing.
The rest of the Godfather in his Ho Train.
Yep. One of my other favorite drinks is the Voorhees. They have so many cool ones. And so
invite me, damn it. Fuck.
But it's so fun, and they always play horror movies, except during Christmas. They play like National Lampoon Christmas Vacation and stuff, and it's
understandable.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun little place, and yeah, so that's my little blurb about my favorite restaurant here. Because it's just like,
it is a good restaurant.
Yeah, the food's amazing. The drinks are unreal. The staff is so friendly. And it's just like, a place where like I feel like I belong. Like it's like a little hipstery, like just a little bit.
13 Pies, if you're listening to this, please sponsor us. Please, we will definitely plug your lovely business and pizzas and drinks all the time.
I already do. Everybody's like, so where do you want to go for and I'm like, 13 Pies.
Even at work, I tell the guys, hey, if you want some good pizza, 13 Pies. And the cut, it's the New York cut. Mm-hmm. So you got the big, not thick, but the big, slice of pizza.
Yep.
It's good.
And you fold it in half and you just fucking shove that shit in your mouth.
Yes.
Eat.
Yes.
Eat like a man.
Like Audrey from the plant movie, the Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
Feed me, Seymour.
Seymour.
13 Pies.
Feed me.
We gotta add that one.
We should. I just watched it
really?
last month. Oh yeah, it's free on YouTube. You can just Google it. It's on YouTube.
Ooh, I like
it's
that.
like it's from that weird era where they didn't copyright anything, so they could just upload them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And which sucks, but it's also
free,
nice.
It's at freeware. I had the word last week and I forgot again already. But yeah.
Oh, and we were just talking before we started while we were fucking with the audio. I watched The Descent, which I've never heard. I think it's on our list, actually, so I won't give too much away. But it was really good. Mm-hmm. And I've heard really good things about it. But it's playing into this trope, which this new game that I was just talking about came out. I already forget what it's called. But where this sort of horror where it's like, again, American Psycho, another one where it's exactly the same thing. Is it all in their mind?
Yeah.
And there's good and bad ways of doing it. And watching The Descent was like perfect. Mm-hmm. And there's alternate endings and everything to it. Because like it's a UK movie. And so they had an original ending. And when they showed it to a test audience in the United States, they hated it so much they had to change the ending. So it was a happy ending in quotations.
That's like the first Nightmare on Elm Street. They had all these different endings, but it was either the test audience didn't like it.
Yep.
Wes Craven? Yeah. Yeah, Wes Craven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He didn't like it, or the director.
Yeah.
And Wes Craven fought over it because there was the good happy ending.
Yep.
Or there was...
Jesus Christ of Nazareth, what was that?
That could have been the bupper. Knocking shit over. Vicky doing a jump scare for the podcast.
Let's maybe not. That's a little preview for our Twitch channel we're going to have of me getting scared regularly.
Oh, I will be too.
Oh my God, I just got a notification on my camera for my living room that my dog's barking. Oh, fuck. What were we
And that's why she is our executive producer.
She's keeping us on our toes.
That's right. We're talking about all the different endings for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes. And you know what? It actually ties into our movie this week, like Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
They had all multiple endings,
They had a few, yep. They had a few.
Yeah. I actually have the DVD of Paranormal Activity because I love the movie. Spoiler alert. And I've watched them all, and I think it's really interesting having multiple endings.
And we have one more planned. One more is down the road.
Awesome. I'm jazzed. Honestly.
Although I'm seeing where else I can tie it together because it kind of already told the story. The story's been...
Oh, yeah.
It's been done.
Yes.
It's complete. So new family, new ghost, new Toby. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Bark.
Bark, bark, bark. Oh, just the joys. I'll take care of them. We're almost at the end of our talking chop here anyways,
Yeah.
so.
We'll get into Paranormal Activity very, very shortly.
Yes. And throw some dogs in some rooms and make them stop scaring me.
Yes.
But yes, there's multiple endings, and I think it's interesting to have more than one, and even just to throw it on the extra content or whatever.
Yeah.
To like whatever they filmed extra, and it didn't work with where they wanted to take the story, so that's fine.
Yeah, one of them was basically the end, like one and done.
Yeah.
One movie, one done, and that was it. And I think either they talked about it and they thought, hey, we got something here, let's make more, because it didn't cost much to make this movie, and they made a shit ton of money.
Oh, killing!
I think they beat they beat Blair Witch for all-time gross. For cost.
Well, I was like not of age to watch it yet. I think I was younger when it came out, and I remember like everybody talking about it. Everybody I knew saw it just because everybody was talking about the ending.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about it.
I'm trying to think if I saw it in the theaters or not. I don't remember. But we'll talk. We'll get more into it when we get into it, which we should get into it.
I was gonna say we should get into it now.
Yeah.
Katie, hi. Hi, come in, please. Thank you so much for coming back.
No problem.
Yeah.
Tika, hi.
We called Dr. Avery, so he's gone.
Yes, he's out of the country. He'll be back. Wow.
We need your help.
This is overpowering.
It's getting worse.
Yes, it certainly doesn't like that I'm here, and I cannot help you.
What?
In fact, I've got to get out of here. This thing is very aggravated, the fact that I'm here.
Wait. Everybody calm down. We need your help.
Well, I've got to tell you, I am not the person to help you in this situation. This is not my area of expertise. I think I'm doing more harm being here than any good. Yes, I really have got to leave. And Dr. Avery's will be back in a few days, and when he gets back here, he'll take care of all your problems.
What should we do? Should we leave? Should we?
Leaving won't help at all. Let me see what I can do, but I've got to leave this room right now.
This is no joke.
I will help you, but I can't do this right now.
No.
Serious?
All right, so this week we watched Paranormal Activity. It's a 2007 movie, and it is written and directed by Oren Peli.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah.
Very inexpensive movie to make. It was made in his house. They used his house as the set.
Yes, and I'll tell you the exact amount.
And Katie and Mika who are the two main characters. They use their real names.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting too.
Budget, production, $15,000.
Like,
I know, Icky, that's right.
Hey, I fed you.
Post-production was $215, so it was around just a little over, under $250.
Yep.
Box office, $193 million.
Yep.
All time was like 900.
Like, you want to know how to get really, really rich? Like, have a sleeper hit.
Yeah, have a movie that you spend nothing on basically hardly any effects, and basically take the Jaws idea.
Yep.
Take the Alien idea. Use the audience's imagination.
Exactly. Just like Blair Witch.
I was going to say Blair Witch. Before Blair Witch, or up until now, Blair Witch was the top ranking for gross to production. And no one could beat it. Because people wanted to throw the money in to get the effects, get this, get that.
Yep.
And then out comes Paranormal Activity, where just guy decided to make a movie in his home.
Yep. Using
cameras, a bit of the shaky cam footage, and it worked.
Yep, and just like I think Blair Witch Project was a big deal of its time.
Oh, it was.
But this movie put found footage movies on the map.
Back on the map.
Yeah. And I don't know. Found footage movies arguably are my favorite kind of movie because I like to be immersed in the movies.
Yes.
I think it's like the best way to do an immersion because you feel like you're there.
Yep.
And I've watched a lot of found footage movies, good and bad.
Yes, I recently
There's lots
watched
of bad.
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield's great.
I love Cloverfield.
Yeah, the big budget ones are good. There's a few like Grave Encounters on Amazon, those kind of ones, and it's they're interesting. There's a few that really are good, but it's a hard genre to do.
I'm still waiting for a good alien found footage.
Right.
They're all cut and copy the same. I think the closest one would be The Fifth Kind.
For sure.
Where it was half found footage, half real, like production.
Mm-hmm.
But
you know, another one that I like is, we've done it, is, I don't know if we actually did it. Yeah, we did do it for the podcast. One Cut of the Dead.
Yes.
The first 30 minutes, of course, are found footage.
Yep.
In quotations. And it's so well done. And you see, they actually do like, because it's like a movie within a movie.
Yep.
And you see, they do behind the scenes during the credits of how hard it actually is. And I think that that's another thing I really appreciate about it, is you have to make it look natural.
Yes.
You know, the actual camera crew has to be hidden. And of course, they're on a rig and everything, like when they have the camera.
Yeah.
But it's harder to do, I think. Not harder, but different. And yeah, I just really appreciate it. And this movie, I think, just did it so well, especially because they were filming in an actual house and not a set.
Yep.
Like, that's hard.
It really is. You also got you have other effects, but like it could be rainy out that one day, or windy out, or someone could come and knock on the door and ruin the shot.
Yep.
It is it's tough to police because I for something like the big movies.
Yep.
They have to shut down roadways. You got like for 28 Days Later.
Yep.
When he's walking through the desolate streets of London, their way around that was shoot early in the morning when no one was driving around.
Exactly.
And you have to do it quick because at I think 6:30, people start driving to work.
Absolutely.
And they had to go get the shot, make it look early morning, clean up after. Like, holy smokes.
Well, and I was watching on Instagram, actually. I was watching some, I don't know, just some Instagram stories. And one of the people I follow, they were showing like a behind the scenes of a movie they're filming. And it's just like a set, and it's in a huge warehouse. So obviously there's no walls or anything. So cameras can go all the way around wherever they need.
Yeah.
And when you're filming in like a closed set, you can't do that. You don't have as much control over lighting, over conditions, over anything, over angles even. No. Which is just something that I really appreciate about this movie. And I really like this movie, which I prefaced with, so, you know. Yeah.
Hooray for He-Man.
Hooray for He-Man.
Good old Skeletor.
So, cast. Oh, how did you hear about this movie?
Oh, shit. I remember when it first came on trailers and movies. I'm like,
same. I guess we kind of sort of talked about
what's this? This looks spooky, scary.
The poster was super creepy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if I saw it in theaters or wait till it was on VHS. Oh boy, DVD or Blu-ray. But I don't remember which one I saw. I think I saw DVD. I don't think I saw it in theaters. I saw the sequels in theaters, not the first one.
For sure.
And the ending got me.
That's what I've heard. That's everything that anybody was talking
about.
The ending got me.
And some of the the night scenes of shit happening. I got a little creeped out. I'm like, okay, this is weird. This is, I don't know about this.
When she's standing over Mika for like 2 hours at a time, like just standing there staring, that's like literally one of my nightmares. Is somebody just standing and staring at me.
Yeah.
And then she just go back to bed like it was nothing. And some of those, it was creepy. I did not love that.
No.
But it just adds to the creep. And I think that that's something that they did really well, is that build-up, you know? Lots of movies. We talked about this when we did The Exorcist, is that the build-up is so important in these sorts of movies.
And they do a great job.
So
it's a very gradual build of a little bit of this happening.
Yes.
They got some, the first night here, with one or two sounds.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
And then it escalates from there to Mike with the Ouija board.
Yep.
And you leave and it does shit. And then...
And literally, the first thing is the door just creaking slightly. Yeah. And that could be anything. My door creaks open half the time.
Or even, it's not even at night, during the day, she's freaked out. So you feel it over her shoulder. You see her hair flutter.
Yep.
And she says she hears it breathing.
Yes.
It doesn't like Micah. It has, there's a picture of him. It's claw marks on his picture.
Yep.
It goes into the attic and they find the old picture of her and her sister. When they put this got when I first saw this part really got me. When he puts the flour and stuff on the floor,
the baby powder or whatever,
and they go to sleep. All of a sudden, you hear this bang, a growl, and a bang, and they get up and they see the footprints.
Yes.
And those are not human. Oh, and I was thinking, it's a ghost. See, it's got human footprints. Those are not human footprints.
No.
Those are claw marks. Those are talons. That was spooky. That scared the fuck.
It is spooky.
And I'm like, okay, what am I going to see? And I didn't see a thing.
You don't see
until
a thing.
The end.
Yeah. Which is what everybody was talking about. Like, it was ruined so easily. Oh, yeah. And this is everybody had the internet type thing. This was pre-smartphones.
This is pre...
Because I didn't get a smartphone until I graduated. And people made fun of me, and that was 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's right. I'm just trying to think how it was still online, but... Yeah. You couldn't have random spoilers on every social media.
Exactly.
Social media wasn't a big thing then.
No, it was like MySpace and...
I had a MySpace
page. MSN.
Yes.
Oh, that kind of stuff. But
what about you? Where did you first hear about this?
I was in high school and I was scared of horror movies still at that point. So I just know friends saw it and they were like, the ending, you'll shit bricks. And I was like, I'm never watching this movie. And now I've seen it
you showed them
more times than I have on two hands because I just love it. I just think it's such a good movie.
It really is.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it, again, like I said, it's just like an early 2000s horror movies. Those are like some of my favorites. That's one of my favorite genres. It's probably 80s and 2000s. Yeah. So.
It's really good.
Yeah,
it really is.
Our executive producer's having a drink. I'm sure you guys can hear it because I can see it on our...
Well, it's tough work
for
being an executive producer.
Yes. All right, so let's go through the cast. There's not many.
No, it's a very, very small cast. So the lovely movie of Paranormal Activity stars Katie Featherston as Katie, Micah Sloat as Micah, Mark Fredericks as Psychic. He didn't get his name.
Yes.
Poor guy.
Amber. Well, everybody else other than Katie and Mika are just so fleetingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amber Armstrong is Amber.
The best friend.
Yes.
They have bead time.
That's right.
Don't interrupt bead time, Micah.
Yeah.
God.
And then here we go. Ashley Palmer, Diane.
Oh.
Change her name.
Yeah. Take that.
Yeah. And Crystal Cartwright, Exorcism Nanny. She's uncredited.
Okay.
Spencer Marks is Dr. Joanne. Joanne Avery's.
Okay.
And Ryan McDowell as Lieutenant Randy Hudson. And James Piper as Richard.
How are there that many people in this movie?
I think they may have been cut out.
Okay, because I know one of the alternate endings, there is police.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, not that I remember. Definitely not in this version.
It is a very small cast, but you don't need much for this kind of movie.
No.
And the small cast makes it more...
Intimate.
Intimate. Thank you. Drink throat's getting a little dry already from talking so much.
Not used to talking this much.
I'm not.
Oh, I had a meeting today, so I was nice and primed.
Well
the
done.
wine is just a lubricant now. Fun. Let's get into the plot. Okay. I want to talk about... I know we've talked about it already, but...
Let's talk about more. Okay,
more talking!
In 2006, San Diego couple Katie and Micah are facing a dilemma regarding a demon that has haunted Katie since childhood, which psychic Dr. Fredericks suggests is feeding off negative energy and intent on tormenting her.
Yes.
And here we got basically Micah. He's breaking out his new camera to try and catch some stuff. He's kind of known about it, but hasn't really made a big deal because nothing has happened until recently.
Yes.
It's just amping up. It's really... getting bad.
Okay, spoiler for the second one. Isn't the second one about her sister?
Yes.
Okay, and you don't find out it's her, or do you find out it's her sister right in the beginning?
I think you do, yeah.
Like, I know you find out eventually, but I can't remember if it's right in the beginning or all of a sudden they're like, oh, my sister Katie, and you're like...
I had to watch it again. Yeah, I think it starts, because she just had a child.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, because Katie's in it.
Yes!
She shows up at the beginning.
Yes, you're right.
Yes. Also got the cool Xbox. Is that the one with the Xbox? That's the third one.
That's the third one.
The third one's like the okay.
Yes. The second one's a cool one where like the kid's sitting at the table and then the sheet comes behind and like the fans blowing
Yes. And the thing is
best,
also
that's the best scene in all of them.
And the second one kicks up first more than one camera.
Yes.
They set up the surveillance cameras.
Yep.
Which is great.
And they've got the one camera, I think it's the one on the fan, and it moves, so it oscillates. Yeah. And so when it comes back every time, there's like a different creepy thing happening. Oh, it's so good.
Well, doesn't also it goes from one to the kitchen, moves away back in the kitchen. Exactly. All the chairs are on the table. Everything. Okay, I gotta watch this again.
Right? Maybe that's what I'll do tonight.
I think so too. After we're all done recording, I'm gonna go home and more spooky scaries.
Spooky scary skeleton.
That's right. Katie takes Dr. Frederick's advice seriously, while Micah uses a camera to record any ghostly activity and goes against advice of not handling the situation without a demonologist, who never shows up.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah. The camera initially captures many strange occurrences in the bedroom during the night. They start off as mundane, such as only noises, flickering light, and bedroom door movements, before escalating into more violent occurrences, such as door slamming, loud thuds, and demonic grunts and screeches. Mm-hmm. That's cool because Michael catches him.
Yes.
You see him
yeah.
going through the footage of the night, and he's like, "Oh, did you hear that? Oh, that's cool. What is that? Ooh." Katie, on one night, appears to be in a trance. She gets up, stands beside the bed, staring at Micah for 2 hours.
Yes.
And goes outside, none of which she recalls the next day.
Which is like sort of when you start to know.
Yeah, definitely there's some possession going on. There's definitely Toby, which we didn't learn the demon's name.
Worst name for a demon. I will fight anybody that disagrees with me. Like, why Toby? Toby.
Why not? Toby's a good name. It's easy. Toby.
Yeah, dear Tobys of the world. I don't hate your name. I just hate the name of a demon to be Toby. You know, they could have chosen like any entity.
But it was the name that they chose for it when they were children.
Yes, so, right. Yeah. Whoa, okay.
It's like a them apples. But it's also, whenever she's in trance, that's totally when the demon is possessing her.
Yes, exactly.
And it shows that it has some sort of, not obsession, but it has a problem with Micah.
Yep, right.
And it watches it and it goes outside and it has her sit on the swing and he tries to get her inside. She's like, "No, don't touch me, leave me alone." So there's definitely a connection between the demon and Katie.
Katie, yeah.
And Micah brings home a Ouija board, which he promised he would not get.
So the way he said he worked around it, which is, sorry Nick, but it's such man logic and it infuriates me.
It's true.
Is like, she's like, "You promised me you wouldn't buy it." And he's like, "Well, I didn't buy it. I borrowed it." And she was
not impressed.
No, not at all. And he's like, "Whoa!" And then, of course, so the camera cuts.
They argue and they leave, and the camera's on the Ouija board. When the couple leave the house, the camera records an unseen force moving the board's pointer to form an unknown message on its surface, which then spontaneously catches fire.
Yes.
I wish they showed out what it said. Because I've tried to watch. I know I've tried before. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It's just gibberish. Katie is increasingly aggravated by Micah's actions and demands him to stop, but he refuses. I don't think it's a game to him, but he
so badly wants to prove her wrong, I think.
Well, I don't think because of the first few nights, it's proven right. It's proven that it's real. Yeah. But I think he wants the evidence. He wants the recognition.
But this is a trope that really bugs me, being a feminist, is that it's always the men don't believe the women. Something happens and they're like, "That doesn't make any sense." And then it just keeps happening and they're like, "Oh, I'll explain it away." Because if you told me, "Alana, there's a spirit tormenting me," I'd be like, "All right, let's fuck shit up. Let's call the Ghostbusters. Yeah. Let's set up some traps. Let's get some salt in some doorways."
He doesn't, not once does he deny it though. He doesn't deny it, but he doesn't take it.
But he poo-poos her constantly.
He doesn't take it as serious as she does.
Yes,
he thinks it's a game, and she knows it's not a game.
Yeah, he thinks it's more more of like Casper, where it's malevolent.
Yes.
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 Ugh, so messy.
Yeah. The couple, on another night, find footsteps on baby powder mica sprinkled in the hallway and outside the bedroom door. Its path leads to a burnt photograph of a young Katie in the attic, previously thought to have been destroyed completely in a house fire. Outside intervention is unavailable at this point, as the only contactable demonologist is out of the country, of course.
Of course.
And Dr. Fredericks is afraid of making a demon angrier.
So Dr. Fredericks comes over again because they're obviously freaking out. Like,
Katie's
shit's
desperate.
Going wrong.
Yeah.
And they don't even want to stay in the house anymore.
Yeah, he walks in, and when he first came in, he could tell there's something here, but I can't really, it doesn't feel, it's not, he said it's not a ghost, it's a demon.
Yes.
Due to that. And I think he talks to her before, too, on the phone or something, but, because she's like, well, can't we leave?
Right.
He's like, well, no.
It'll
because
follow you.
It's not attached to the house.
Yeah.
It's attached to Katie.
You.
So wherever you go, it's going to follow.
Yes.
And when he comes in,
yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I can't be here.
Yeah. I'm making it upset.
Yes.
I need to leave.
I have to leave now. And he just leaves.
Yeah. And he's like, I'll help you. I can't be here. And then he just yeets out of there in like 1 second. Like, he's not fucking around.
No, he ran. He was...
And if that was me, like if I was Katie and Micah, that would scare me more than any baby powder footprints.
Yeah.
To have like a demonologist come in and like, or a psychic, and be like, nope, I'm good actually.
This house is not clean.
Yeah. Unclean. Shame. Oh.
That night, Katie is pulled out of the bedroom by an unseen force.
That is super creepy.
That's a great
another
scene.
one is super creepy.
Yeah. Micah discovers a bite mark on Katie's back the morning after, motivating him to get out of the house, but Katie abruptly insists on staying. Yeah, that's right, because they're all planning to get out. They're leaving. Yeah. And then she's like, no, we're staying.
Yeah.
And I still think that was a demon's influence.
Absolutely was. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you know what? Let's stay. Yeah. He's like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's just stay. It's fine.
And during this, I think he finds the picture of him and her cracked, and his size picture is all slashed up.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think she was, at that point, she was already possessed. She had to have been.
Yeah. On night 21, Katie gets out of bed again and stares at Micah for 2 hours before going downstairs. Katie screams for Micah, and he quickly rushes to help her. Afterwards, Micah screams in pain. After a moment of silence, Micah's body is violently hurled at the camera, which is knocked off the tripod, revealing a demonic Katie standing in the doorway with blood on her shirt. She crawls to Micah's body, then looks up at the camera with a grin. As she lunges toward the camera, her face takes a demonic appearance.
Yes.
Just as the scene cuts to black. Another growl is heard. Micah's body is discovered by the police on October 11th, 2006, and Katie is not found.
Yes.
The end.
The end. That was a very condensed plot. But that's basically all that happens.
It is.
Lots of it is just silence and watching.
And you know what? I don't want to spoil too much for those who haven't seen it yet.
Right.
Give her a go. And this is just a brief outline.
Yes.
There's lots more in the movie that we haven't really touched on.
Yes.
It's spooky scary.
There's
it's
lots
good.
of stuff. Like I was
Very
saying before,
tense.
like her best friend comes over to just kind of make her feel better, and they have bead time.
Yeah.
Like they bead things.
Yeah.
And it's cute, but it like, you start to feel for these two because they go from just like she's just a student. She's a college student. And Micah's just like I think he's an amateur filmographer or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. And that's why he has all the cameras and stuff. Yeah. And it's just like, it's so not serious. And over the course of these few days, it gets so serious. And it's just, it's so interesting.
Drawing into some alternate endings?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the backstory to the alternate endings. Once Paramount acquired the film, the original ending was scrapped, which happens.
Right, yes, of course.
The two new endings were developed for the film. One of them being the one seen in theaters, which we just described. The scrapped ending was shown at only one public viewing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the original ending had the possessed Katie carrying Micah's body and throws it to the camera.
Yes.
Katie returns to the bedroom alone with a knife she used to kill Micah. She sits on the floor against the bed and rocks back and forth. Sometime the next day, Katie's friend Amber discovers Micah's body downstairs and runs away in panic. and Katie does not respond. At 9 p.m. the next evening, 2 policemen enter the house and reach the bedroom where they find the possessed Katie with a knife. Seeing them, Katie suddenly returns to her normal state and asks about Micah. After the attic door slams by itself, one of the officers panics and shoots and kills her.
Jesus.
Yeah. The camera fades to black as the police officers continue searching the house for the source of the sound. An epilogue text appears dedicating the film to the memory of Micah and Katie. So in the original ending, they both die.
Which they couldn't do because Katie continues on. Yeah.
Yes. Alternate ending. In another ending, Katie, after killing Micah off screen, comes back upstairs alone like the original ending. This time, she closes the bedroom door and approaches the camera. She then faces the camera and slits her own throat, taking her life.
That's what I thought. I was like, doesn't she kill herself in one of them? And that one freaked me the fuck out. I remember I was watching it in my room by myself, and I'm like, the original ending when she just screams at the camera, I'm like, ooh, scary. And I was like, ooh, alternate endings. And then so I clicked it, and I was like, okay, alternate ending. And then I was like, I watched it, and I was like, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
And then she slumps to the floor dead, and it cuts to black.
Yes.
I think of all of them, I think I like the ending they had.
Interesting.
Because it keeps... It sets up for the sequels. It doesn't
course.
end the story.
But that's why they kept it, right? Of course. That's why they kept it. Was because they needed her to keep going. Which, I mean, if you've learned anything about horror movies, you can die. So.
Well, I think they did... Because they filmed the movie, they shopped around, Paramount took it.
Yep.
They threw it for test audiences, which they gotta do, and didn't like the ending. I think maybe the executives didn't like the ending. They probably saw us more of like a franchise out of it. So let's do something where they don't die. Keep her alive for something, a bigger story. Because I don't think they had the whole story then. They kind of had a one-off. And then when it came to such a huge hit, they're like, oh, right, you, director, writer, let's keep them going.
Right. And you know, they did it smart in the first one because they added the sister in there, which, like we said, was the second one's based off of his sister.
Yeah.
So you immediately have a second one, which I guess Katie could have died and it would have been fine, but the ending wouldn't have made any sense then. But they kind of kept it going in such a cool way.
Yes.
Yeah. I like it. Our producers are fighting. They don't like us spoiling all the other endings.
I guess not. Well, how would you rate this movie?
You know, for how much I like it, probably still a 3.5. I think, like, again, it was very shocking when it came out. Because it's almost 15 years old now, like next year it'll be 15 years old. Yep. I think the shock value has worn off a bit. Like everybody knows sort of what happens. And I don't know. It's just like it's still such a good movie though. I just love it.
Well, for the young viewers, the ones who haven't seen this yet, who are just getting into the whole horror scene. And they haven't seen this yet. So for new viewers or even those who are listening to this, know people who are trying to get into the horror movies, this is a good one to get them started on.
Such an easy one, yeah.
It's scary. It's got scary spots.
Yeah.
And what I like, and also why I give my rating, which is a 4.
Oh, okay.
I give it a 5 because it works on your imagination.
Yes.
You don't see a thing.
Yes.
But you hear things, and then your mind starts working out. What was that sound?
Yes.
What could that have been? What could have looked like? And what if this happened at my house?
Yes.
What if I go home after watch this or after the movie turned off, go upstairs, and I hear what was that? Oh,
yes.
Like it. Some people it doesn't affect because they don't get scared like that as easily. They have I won't say they have imagination, but it doesn't bother them as much. For those like me, who my imagination likes to run wild like a little dickhead. Like this movie scared me. When I watched it, it scared me because my imagination started running.
Yes.
And I started thinking, what the hell is that? What's going on? What could happen? And like I said before, Jaws did this beautifully. You don't see the whole shark till the end. You just get his view. Alien did it beautifully because it's so
Alien
dark.
is probably the best example.
Yes. And or then there's those who kind of do the opposite way, The Thing.
Yes.
Where within the first 20 minutes, you see what's going on.
Yeah.
And it is horrifying.
Yes.
And the effects, you have to do the effects to make it work as well. Mm-hmm. But it's for what this is, for being a very low budget movie.
Yes.
Compared to, it doesn't have the quirks as the horror legends like Freddy, Jason, Chucky, but in its own, it's a great horror movie.
I agree.
It's a good ghost, demon movie.
Yep.
And there's no jump scares.
No.
Another thing, there's no jump scares. And
Well, the very, very end, kind of. Like when Mika gets thrown at the camera,
Yes.
it scares me every time.
Yes. or when she lunges at the camera.
Yeah, of course.
That gets me too. But other than that,
so fleeting.
But it's nothing. It's not like the repeat.
Exactly.
It's just the one at the end.
It's just it's not a cheap thrill. Like they save it until literally the last scene.
Like this, I'm surprised that Asian filmmakers didn't make something like this before.
Yeah, right.
Because it has the same build as an Asian horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's slow build. You get to look at the scares.
Yeah.
Little spikes here and there, but it doesn't stop.
Absolutely.
It's a very gradual and progressive. You don't lose it. In the whole movie, you don't think, okay, this is getting dumb, this is getting boring, this is getting dull. It's not scary anymore. No, they keep it going. Mm-hmm. They keep that threat, that
Absolutely.
atmosphere thick the whole movie. Other movies,
and it keeps you in the moment. It keeps you immersed in the movie. Like they don't let up. They keep that pressure on, and that pressure builds throughout the movie.
And it's in the house, and you know it's in the house, and it could show up anywhere, anytime.
And that's so scary, especially when the dude is like, it's not the house, it's you. Yeah. You can't escape yourself. Yeah. And that adds to the pressure and the fear.
I can imagine there are people, in theaters, wow, just leave the fucking house. Leave the house. Well,
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Explain that. It doesn't matter. It's love it.
It is. It's a great movie. Yeah. I'm so glad we did it.
I am too.
It's great.
Ichabod's Kill the Flick.
Oh, well.
There's only one kill.
There's only one. That has to be Mika.
It's Micah.
Yeah.
And it was, you don't see it. You just see him thrown against the camera.
He just gets thrown across the room.
Yeah, it's a very out of the screen. And you know what? I'm fine with that.
Yeah. It almost wouldn't have met the tone of the movie if you see him get ripped to shreds. Right?
I think it would have ruined it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it would have added to it if you saw her stabbing him or whatever. I think what it was, you didn't see anything. Why start? Yeah. Why start at the end? It doesn't make any sense.
One thing I wouldn't mind of seeing, just for, if I was making a movie, near the end, have a scene where it chokes him. Have Micah, actually, because he's not the best boyfriend, husband.
Oh no, he's a piece of garbage.
And he only at the very end does he see him show a little bit of compassion and concern. And he does the whole movie though; it's definitely there, but he doesn't act. He doesn't show. Now, if he got mad or angry, he kind of does, but nothing to a degree that he starts yelling, shouting, threatening.
Yeah. Well, I think he's concerned, and because the demon is basically Katie, right?
Yes.
But very.
But if I was from, I would have had one scene of the nighttime where Katie wakes up terrified, there's something wrong.
Yep.
And he starts, going through the house, come at me, if you want to fight someone, fight me. And you see him being lifted off you grab his neck and being lifted up. Mm-hmm. And Katie starts screaming, no, stop. And he drops.
Mm-hmm. That would have been really cool.
That would have been a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd also start thinking, does she have control over it?
Of course, right.
But
yeah,
but also in it kind of does listen to her, and
of course
there's definitely a connection,
and it's very much tormenting her at the same time though. Like when she's dragged out of the room, and it's terrifying. And
we learn there's more to just tormenting her. There's a huge story there.
Absolutely, but they explain in the next 5 movies.
Yes, but Micah, it doesn't like Micah.
No,
I would like to see a little more damage onto Micah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just a little more, just.
Because he gets away pretty scot-free on it. I mean, he dies. But, that's how it is. That's what happens when you date a lady with a demon.
That's right.
And there's another part that fucking bugs me every time I watch the movie where he's like, why didn't you tell me? And she's like, tell you what?
They
and
argue.
He's like, whoa, that you have a demon following you. Like, really, bro? She's like, well, when would I have brought that up? He's like, I don't know, like a month in. Like,
yeah, there's a scene where they argue and fight over whose fault it was.
Yes.
About this. Well, I wish you would have told me before we bought this house. You brought this thing to my house.
Literally.
Your house. Yeah, and I think that shows Micah's, he's frustrated. Frustration, discouraged.
Totally.
He's just, because there's nothing he can do.
Right.
Besides record, and that's all he can do, and that's his power.
Which is one of those things of like, it's nobody's fault, but you really, as humans, we want to stick blame, right?
Oh, 100%.
And I get it. It just fucking bugs me.
Mm-hmm. No,
Because
I
it's
get
like
that.
when, it's not like she's like, I'm in debt. It's like, I have a demon that possesses me. Like that, sir.
Yeah.
Be a little lenient here. We're both in trouble.
That's right. It's not my fault.
Oh, good Lord. Anyways, fuck. He dies anyways.
That's right.
Fuck Micah. I feel the same way with him as the guy in Midsummer.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
That's right.
So that. That was Paranormal Activity.
Love it.
You guys should seriously go out and watch it. Watch the second one. The second one, in my opinion, is better.
It is. It answers more questions. It also asks a bunch more.
Picks up a bit more. It's a bit more actiony. There's more stuff.
The third one shows the girl's backstory.
Yeah.
No. The third
one is in Mexico, isn't it?
No. The third one is the friend.
Oh.
Or the daughter or someone.
Okay.
And then the fourth one is the prequel.
Yes.
The fourth one shows the girls.
Yeah.
The fifth one is like the side story in Mexico,
Yes,
which
you're right.
loops right back to the first one.
Yeah.
And then the sixth one, I forget. I don't know if I think I've seen it, but I gotta watch it again.
Yeah.
It's it. I forget. The sixth one, I think, kind of completes.
I need
the
to
story.
rewatch all of them. I haven't.
do
I
too.
watched them in the very beginning of COVID, so it's been about a year and a half.
I'm gonna watch a couple. I think tonight.
Me too.
Spooky scare. I'll be like every little.
Scares.
I'll turn off my ice maker because it makes sounds. Give me the spooks.
You'll notice it when we watch the next movie. My furnace, I'm sure you know because you live downstairs, but the furnace, every time it clinks on, goes like chunk, and I jump every time.
You know what? That didn't bother me.
Every time.
When I lived downstairs, it didn't bother me.
It scares me every time. I'm like, there's someone in my house. But that's, one of the byproducts of all the horror movies I watch is like, even I was doing laundry the other day and I was like, I don't feel like folding. So I just set 2 stacks of laundry bins on top of each other. I wake up at like 3:30 in the morning. I see this huge, like, hulking figure by my door, scream.
Oh, no.
And realize it's my laundry.
Spooky laundry.
And that, kids, is why you don't do drugs. And next week is our fake Horr-Gasm day, which I'm so excited for. I know that they're not like our fan favorites from Views, but we love them, guys. And like,
it's a good, it's
we
Halloween.
love them. We love you. It's a fun little palate cleanser.
It is for Halloween. Get these good horror movies out of the way.
Yeah.
And also, we don't fuck around with our fake Horr-Gasms. We
Hell
pick
no.
great movies to watch and review.
If you're gonna fake it, make it good.
That's right. And we are going.
As a woman.
It's kind of,
Let's talk.
I'm not going to comment on the guys faking. But we're going to do the movie The Professional.
Yay! I'm so excited. I think we're really gonna. I've never seen it.
You haven't? Fuck off.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's so good. It's got Gary Oldman. Not Coleman. Gary Coleman.
Yeah.
And
Natalie Portman.
And Natalie Portman.
I know.
And John Reno.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know the whole cast. I know the whole story. I've just never actually sat down and watched it.
Oh, geez. No, really?
Sorry.
You are going to blow your socks off with this movie.
Everybody
so
tells me is like, oh, you're going to love this movie. And I've just seen like bad stuff about it. Like Natalie Portman was sexualized as a child. So I'm like, oh.
So was Punky Brewster.
I know.
And she was okay with it.
And I was like, well, I don't love that. So I'm just going to avoid it. But I think, well, obviously we're going to have to. I'm just going to have to pull the Band-Aid off.
Yep.
Watch it. I think I'm going to enjoy it, honestly.
You really are. This is, I don't use the word artistic masterpiece in movies very often.
Yep.
There's The Fifth Element, which we've done. I love that one.
Yes.
which also stars Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
And then there's
love him.
The Professional, which it's just good. It's
Oh,
such
I'm
a
so
good.
excited.
It's such a great movie.
I think we're going to have fun.
Oh, I know I am. I hope you do. And also, we have our Halloween special.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up.
That's
in
right.
a couple days.
Yeah.
It's coming out Sunday, y'all. This
Yep.
comes out Thursday, and this is our Halloween special.
Halloween
come out
special.
Sunday.
And last year we did Halloween.
Hell yeah.
This year we had some options.
Yep. There's
And-
lots of Halloweens out there.
I'm against the whole Halloween timeline. I don't think I talked about it last time. If I
Yep.
did, I'm going to talk about it again. And we're going to do, we've thought about doing the Halloween 2, the old original sequel.
Yep.
We're going to go right into the new timeline.
Absolutely.
We're going to watch Halloween 2018. And it's going to be spooky scary.
Just like us.
Yeah.
We're spooky, scary kind of
Spooky,
people.
scary,
Woo! I'm actually wearing a Halloween t-shirt. You're wearing Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
I super approve of.
Yes.
I'm wearing my homemade tie-dye and Halloween shirt.
Very nice. That's almost Michael Myers mask there.
It is, actually.
It is. And fucking right. Yes. Yes.
Got it from Walmart on sale for $6 and tie-dyed it.
Lovely.
Love it.
Lovely.
And thank you so much for joining us. This episode was brought to you by our executive producer, Ichabod, and our head of talent relations, Anarchy. We hope you enjoyed your Horr-Gasm as much as we did. Please don't forget to rate, download, and subscribe. Also, like and follow us on Facebook at Horr-Gasm Podcast, Instagram at Horr-Gasm, Twitter at Gasm Horror, YouTube at the Horr-Gasm Podcast, and Twitch at Horr-Gasm Games. If you have a movie you'd like us to review, this is the best way to let us know. We hope to see you again next week because we have such sights to show you. Plenty of Horr-Gasms for you to experience.